We all got goals in life. That could be me, that could be you. Most humans have goals. They want to achieve them. But a lot of the times, when they got high standards, high goals, they don't necessarily achieve them. That could be financial, physically, or maybe different aspects. Anything you can think of life. Most of the time, you may be facing ups and downs. The up is a situation where you're super motivated. You're like, okay, I got this goal. I gotta do this. I gotta get back to the gym. I'm gonna start the business. I'm gonna start meditating. I'm gonna start X insert habit. So you're on that trajectory, that motivation. For a couple of days, you're motivated, right? So you're going up, 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 up. But now you're reaching the ceiling. You're reaching a certain area. You're feeling proud of yourself. You're like, oh, okay, so I'm being consistent. I'm being better at this. But the problem with this is that a couple of days later, you start going down. You feel comfort. What you thought was being proud was actually something killing you. So as you get down and down and down, you're less going there. You're getting back to your old habits. You're not putting as much effort as you used to do maybe a week ago. So now you're going down, down, down till your worst version of yourself. That worst version is the thing, like when you're down bad, when you're the most down bad, this is when you're going down. You're not doing any work, you're not going at the gym as much as you used to do. And you're feeling so bad about yourself at this moment that you're getting so much pain inside your brain that you're like, okay, now I gotta get back. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. So you're getting motivated again, going up, feeling proud, going down, feeling pain because you're not moving forward in life, and you feel so bad about yourself, you hate yourself, and you're going like this, and your life looks like this. The problem with this particular thing is that you're doing ups and downs. And the ups and downs means that your average is constant. You're not improving yourself. You're not trying to be better. And since your ups and downs meet this specific average in your whole life, you're not really making crazy progress. You might be doing a little bit of progress. That's what most people are doing. Some people are going up, others are going down. And I actually faced both of them. And there has been a specific shift that I've learned from Charlie Morgan, one of the greatest guy in the agency niche. He's made over $40 million. And I looked at his self-transcendence model. He's making great videos and he helped me shift my perspective on ups and downs. So I went from having a couple of ups and downs to completely destroying all my standards, completely going up, completely going crazy. What used to be super harsh for me, what used to be the best version of myself, is actually my bottom down. It's actually the worst version of myself. And the way I've been doing this was by implementing a certain strategy, not really a strategy, but a paradigm shift. So a paradigm is the way you see life, or something that could be an object, or maybe life in overall. But a specific paradigm shift that I've been able to implement in my life and been able to help me toward my goals. And as a matter of fact, go even further than other people. Most people don't know this, but I'm gonna show you how. The first thing is that you gotta recognize that you got hows. You got a methodology towards your goals. You gotta know the methodology you're implementing at your highest and the methodology you're implementing at your lowest. So let's say for a month, you work 100 hours a month on your business. So maybe at your highest, you're working 5 hours a day. Let's even say lower, let's say 3 hours, 4 hours a day. That's your highest. That's the best version of yourself. But at your lowest, your methodology does not go anywhere. You're only working 0, maybe 1 hour a day. I'm gonna use work hours because it is something a lot more tangible than any other areas, like how much money you make. I mean, technically you can control this, but the hours of work would be a lot more tangible. So let's say you work your maximum, your best version of yourself is you working 4 hours a day on your side hustle business. Your worst version do not work at all. Your worst version feels like shit. So you gotta understand that your average here is 2 hours a day. When we sum up the average you, that would be the best version of yourself plus the worst version of yourself over two. Your average is 2 hours a day. But maybe that would not be enough. Maybe you want to constantly be the best version of yourself. The problem with that is that 99.99999 humans, even the greatest of the greatest, are facing ups and downs. The only change they're using in their framework is putting their highest, their best version of themselves, what they call, oh, I'm in my prime. Oh, I'm being a G right now. I'm feeling jacked. I'm doing everything, bro. I'm so good. I'm the best version of yourself. But the problem with that mindset is that you're feeling comfortable. You're feeling super happy. You're super happy about you being that version. And as your mind thinks that you got to the best version of yourself, didn't you notice that when you feel the most productive, a couple of days later you're going down? Like, didn't it happen to you once? At least once. It's because your brain sees it as an achievement. It sees like when we reproduce, we have achieved something and we don't need to work more towards it. It counts it as an accomplishment. When you've been consistent with the gym for over a week, but next week you're not going to the gym at all because you're unconsciously, you were like, oh, I'm proud of yourself. I'm proud of myself. I've done so much work. I'm done with this. I'm done with that. But since you're feeling super accomplished, you're not really trying to push yourself. It feels like, okay, you reach your limit. Okay, where elite reaches his limit. So the trick behind all of this would actually be to make your highest. So the best version of yourself gotta be your lowest. Your best version of yourself, for example, was working 3 hours a day. But now it's gonna be different. Your worst version, aka the worst you think about yourself, when you're at that point, you're actually disgust. Remember we said our worst was 0 hours of work. When I'm doing 0 hours of work, I'm feeling bad, horrible, so I gotta do more work. I get motivated, then I go up. Rather than always try to be the best, we will make our best our new minimum. So my minimum would be, for example, I'm using work hours as an example, 3 hours of work. 3 hours of work on my business a day would be my bare minimum. As a matter of fact, I actually feel disgust only working 3 hours a day. So what used to be my ceiling, my maximum, oh my God, I was super happy about this, is actually my new minimum. So working 3 hours a day would be your main minimum if it was your max. And since it is your minimum and you feel disgust about working 3 hours a day, you'll actually have new higher standards. Your maximum would not be 3 hours anymore. It would be 4 and 5. Unconsciously, as the time goes, you'll be like, well, fuck, 3 hours is not enough. I gotta do more. And you're gonna start doing 4. You're gonna start doing 5. And maybe your best is gonna be 5. Oh my God, I feel so good when I'm at 5. And you're gonna notice that your average is gonna be pretty much around, let's say, 3.5, 4. So your average work hours a day went from 2 hours a day, which was your average, to 4 hours a day. Let's say your max is 5. We're gonna do our best plus our lowest over 2 to find our average. And it's gonna be maybe 4 hours a day. And you're gonna be like, okay, how do I fulfill this promise? I'm gonna say that, okay, my best is gonna be 3. My best is gonna be 5 and my lowest is gonna be 3. You gotta make 3 hours your pain, your new goal. But rather than focusing on your goal, you're gonna focus on changing your identity. Look at the current self, behavior, and how you believe about this specific thing. If you used to think that, okay, 3 hours of work is hard, 3 hours of work is horrible, it's painful, you're already setting up yourself as a way that will hold you back, pushing forward more than 3 hours of work a day. If I think that 3 hours of work is hard, is impossible, is horrible, I'm not gonna push to my limits. And by the way, the goal behind this, I forgot to explain, the goal behind focusing on raising my minimums and not my maximums. I don't really care about my maximum because we don't fall to our ceiling, we don't fall to our max. When we get to our max, we usually go back again to our bad habits. So rather than focusing on always try to be better, always try to reach this max, this specific max, I'm gonna try to make my worst better, because we fall to our lowest, basically. 50% of the time, we're bad. 50% is a version of you that is really good, consistent, disciplined. The other 50% is actually that version of yourself you don't really like, that version of yourself that is procrastinating, that version of yourself that do not really like put into the effort, that kind of need energy and motivations in order to move forward. So this is our bare minimum, this is our negative 50%. And if we put our negative 50%, our new best version of yourself, then by definition that good 50%, that good version of us that is at 50% is gonna get better itself. So if we focus by putting our bare minimum even better, we raise our minimum standards, then by definition we're gonna get better overall. And if you think that 3 hours of work is gonna be hard, if you think that, oh, that was your best, it's gonna be hard, then you're only gonna limit yourself. And let's be real, you don't wanna, if you're watching this video, you probably wanna achieve your goals faster than others. You actually wanna be productive. You actually have things to prove. Probably, we don't really care about others, maybe just to you. You wanna prove to yourself that you wanna do this specific thing, you wanna do it, and you're gonna do it. And you're not gonna let that worst version of yourself holding you back, so you're gonna raise your standard. So rather than believing that the best version of yourself is really hard, it must be difficult to accomplish it, we're gonna reverse engineer our process by thinking that 3 hours of work is not actually that bad. 3 hours of work surely requires some cognitive endurance. So we gotta put in mental effort and critical thinking for a long period of time. But I can surely enhance my cognitive endurance easily. And all I need is struggling, having trial by fire for a long period of time, not even long, a couple of days, and I'm gonna get used to it. And my worst is gonna get my worst will be my best old self, if that makes sense. So we will go from this to the same. But the only difference is that rather than being stuck between 0 and 3, we're going to get stuck between 3 and 5. And we repeat this process again and again and again till it works. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you got any question regarding this topic, you let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts about this on this comment. I want to share a couple of videos similar to this one soon. So I really want to know if it's something you're interested or not. Otherwise, peace out.